And we find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Green Bay Packers and the Minnesota Vikings. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll probably wish he'd reconsidered here. It will cost him 10 yards as he's down at the 15.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these teams, special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive, almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
The first carry now for Dalvin Cook. And a short gain across the 15 to the 17-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
He'll drop to throw. He'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 12-yard line. That'll go as a loss of 5. And that'll make it 3rd and 13. They're going to look to throw. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. And he almost gets this to the 30, taken down about a yard shy. First time they've hooked up here. Good for 17 and a first down. Now a play fake here on first down. He's going to float this one deep right side. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
They'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one. Force the incompletion. That allowed him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely. Frees up your guys elsewhere. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Back to throw. It escapes the sack. Staying on his... But now he's swallowed up and taken down. Nick Perry. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. The Vikings send out their punter. As the first drive of the game stalls out, he's on to punt. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. Fielded just inside the 20. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And it'll be Packer football here. First down and 10. Rodgers will bring the Pack up with a 1st and 10 at their own 27. Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. And he powers his way up past the 30. The tackle made there by Harrison Smith.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. It's Everson Griffin who made the tackle.
It's really simple to say that they know their identity, that they are a passing team. But one of the reasons that they're so successful, they know how to mix in the run and make sure that they keep the defense off balance and not able to just simply say, let's go get the quarterback and disrupt things.
Over here.
Rodgers to throw on 3rd and 1. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Eric Kendricks with a big-time sack on 3rd down, and it'll be a loss of 7. And he punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And the Vikings now heading onto the field. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know, we know where we are right now, but the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together, formulating a streak, and the whole month of December is still left to play. They think they can get in.
And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room right now. It's win this game and look to next week.
Excellent focus.
Leopard! Leopard! Gone!
Back to throw here. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Jake Ryan. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. And with a 3rd and 13 here, the defense in a dime look. They'll look to throw. Open man is Thielen is complete. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. A gain of 26 on the 3rd down conversion. Now back to throw. He's got the connection over the middle to Diggs. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. They'll set up a throw. They'll roll him out right. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. And this is going to be Packer football. Holding on to the football becoming a little bit of an issue. He had 2 fumbles last week, remember.
I played for a guy that used to talk all the time about creating turbulence in the pocket, making the quarterback jumpy, make him antsy, keep getting after him a little bit, and make sure he thinks about holding on to the ball because you're going after him.
Now after the fumble recovery, it's Rodgers. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll make it a 2nd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Now it's Rodgers. Looking middle, and that's complete. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. First catch for him. It's good for a dozen and a first down.
That's fine.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Rodgers now on 1st down. And the catch made. This is Emmanuel Sanders. 11 more yards that go around. A first down as well. Now a first down carry by Jones. And not much. Maybe a yard down to the 23.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter about to get underway with the Packers in possession of the football. They've got a 2nd and 9 to start things out. Here's Rodgers. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Okay, was it a breakdown in protection? Did the running back not pick him up? What does it really matter? Sometimes it's just a great play made by the defense. Big-time sack.
Rodgers now, after the sack, he'll lead the pack up on 3rd and long. Shotgun now for Rodgers. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So still no touchdowns in the first half, but we do have some action on the scoreboard with the field goal.
So maybe now the mentality changes in this game because anytime you can get to the red zone, and if you don't come away with 6 points, you feel like it's a disappointment. In a game like this one, being able to kick field goals means you're right there, and then you're just looking for that big break to take you over the top.
And out now come the Vikings. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now, and I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. First down yardage on the first play of the drive, 14 yards.
That was earning a first down the hard way. You want your quarterback to be a scrapper, but you also want to keep him upright. He paid for that first down by taking a big-time hit.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They go play action here on first down. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it's a 2nd down. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And his crew will take over at their own 45-yard line. It's almost like you can see the look of frustration on his face. 4 interceptions last week. We talked about it all week. What did he do wrong? And another one here in the first half.
And you can understand the frustration. You actually feel his pain a little bit. But the worst thing he can do is what you're seeing right now, showing the other team that he's frustrated. All they're going to do is double their efforts to make him even more frustrated. He's got to gather himself, compose himself, and keep fighting.
Well, he talked a lot about erasing that loss last week, getting back in the win column. We'll see how he responds.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that. It's caught at the 10. Touchdown, Packers. Davante Adams, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Packers add on to their lead.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
Jamal Agnew now to return it. And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, they'll start this drive at about the 37-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. They pitch it out to Cook. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
I know what you're thinking out there. I know a lot of you are thinking, take a shot downfield. It's a great spot for it. I'd say maybe later in the game, definitely in the second half. But right now, I think they were just trying to get some momentum built. Get a first down, pick it up, and keep moving.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They run again on first down. Cook, nifty move. A beautiful spin and room to run. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A big run there, 29 yards and a first.
Sometimes those lines that are drawn on a grease board or in a playbook, they come to life out on the field, don't they? And we just saw that on that outside handoff to the right.
That right tackle, he gets excited for that call, doesn't he?
He does, because he just wants to dominate his guy and say, listen, I was the point of attack. I took care of business. That's why you're able to get downfield and add all those yards to your total.
Yeah, really nice gain there. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. He can't get him down. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. The Vikings on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. They'll set up to throw. Looking for the end zone. And a shot taken on 3rd down, unsuccessful. 4th down now.
But that was certainly an aggressive call and an aggressive play. Instead of just going for the first down, took the shot in the end zone, went for the touchdown.
Yeah, and on 3rd down, they said, forget about the sticks. We want 6. The kick by Carlson is good. And they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division, looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number one goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number two goal is win your division. Number three goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can try to have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. On play action, it's Rodgers. A dump underneath to Jones. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. Now look out, Rodgers lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Shotgun now for Rodgers. He's going to launch this thing way down, and he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
A first carry for the converted wideout, J.D. McKissick. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync. Only way to play good defense.
So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. That is incomplete. A minute 58 to go in this first half of play. More from Minneapolis after this. The Vikings on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 10.
Detroit! Detroit!
Looking to throw. And the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. And now a timeout coming from the defensive side for the Packers. It's just They're first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. The Vikings send out their punter as he'll kick it away for the second time. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And this will be taken at the 13. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. It's a gain of 7, and that'll make this a 2nd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
On 2nd down, here's Rodgers. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs. Rodgers now hitting on 80% of his passes in the early going. 8 of 10. It's 1st down. From the gun, it's Rodgers. He'll leave it for Montgomery complete. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. It's a 4-yard pickup, and that'll make it a 2nd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
From midfield, here's Rodgers. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the 1st half. Rodgers now rebounding nicely after the interception. He's hit 4 straight to start the drive. It's 1st down. Again, they'll throw with Rodgers. And he finds his tight end, Graham. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. A really nice gain of 25 yards. So 5 plays on this drive, Charles. All passes, all completion. And Rodgers is going to go down. He's sacked. Now before this 2nd down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this 1st half. Sacks, a growing theme in this 1st half. This is 2nd and long. Working from the gun, Rodgers eluding the pressure right. Caught on the right side by Adams. They'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the 1st half. So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. From the left hash, a chip shot here. And Crosby puts it through, and they will stretch their lead to 10 now at 13-3. Still a little bit of time left here in the 2nd quarter, but they do get 3 before the half and expand that lead.
And they have to be happy about that, and we haven't met a team yet that doesn't put an emphasis on trying to get points on the board in the last 2 minutes of a half. They'll be real excited to have those up on the board.
And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Dancing to his left. Now he'll let it go on the run. Deep left side. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. So we've come to... And just like that, on we head to half number 2. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. So it's the Packers set to receive the kick. They've got the lead as well as we are underway in the 3rd quarter. That's fielded in the end zone. Now trotting out there, the Packers getting ready to go. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. They'll pitch it out to Jones. Finding some room at midfield. And finally down at the 36-yard line. That one 28 yards on the ground.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. The safety, Calvin Pryor, is there on the tackle. Now Rodgers throwing on 2nd down. Over the middle, and it's incomplete.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Rodgers going to throw. Left side here to Sanders. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. The 15 yards there on the catch and run.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
He used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this, when he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
On 2nd down, it's Jones. And able to fight forward inside the 15 to the 13. 2nd down, a little more productive than 1st. 7 yards on the gain. It gets him to 3rd and 3 now. To throw, it's Rodgers. Flush to his right. And this is caught, but I don't think he stayed in bounds. No, he didn't. It's incomplete. The throw took him past the boundary, and it's fourth. This Minnesota D up to the task on the third down pass play. And Crosby puts it through, and the lead stretches. 16-3 now. So 3 field goals that he's hit now. This last one helps him stretch out the lead.
He's been solid, hasn't he? And he lives up to the adage that every offensive coach has ever said to us. We want to end every possession with a kick, right? For them, it's either extra point, field goal, or at worst, a punt. In this case, it's been threes.
And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve.
Well, we saw them there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Blake Martinez. And he is going to get this one back to the 20-yard line. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected for the second week?
And Rodgers is going to go down. He's sacked. Linval Joseph in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. To throw is Rodgers. And he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this second half. Instead, it's 3rd down. The turnover put him in great field position. They don't want to squander it with 3rd down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
On 3rd and long, it's Rodgers. Flushed out right. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. So no sack. He gets back to the line of scrimmage, but it'll still bring up a 4th down.
Well, the defensive guys won't be real happy because there won't be a sack on this play because he did get back to the line of scrimmage. But what a job they did overall. Hemmed him in and gave him nowhere to go with the football.
So make him 4 out of 4 now in the field goal department, and he's able to extend their lead.
When drives are bogged down, he's been automatic out there. So nice to have a kicker you can count on to put points on the board.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota.
Lucky 56.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Throw left side on target to Thielen. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a 1st down. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. Packer pressure, and down he goes. Jake Ryan in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. He's got it complete to Diggs, right side. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Out of the gun now on third down. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
And we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. Fair catch signaled for and taken at about the 15-yard line. They'll call that a 33-yard punt with no return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. And he'll take this one up over the 20 to the 21-yard line. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Third quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Rodgers to throw on second down. And that is incomplete. Emmanuel Sanders, the intended receiver. And it's third down.
Well, they're slinging it. And then there's one you got to put a timer on, huh? I mean, that one came in hot.
That came in hot, but overthrown, out of his reach and incomplete. The Packers on third down. They've had their troubles. Just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 4. Shotgun now for Rodgers. And he comes back with one complete. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs. Rodgers now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. From the gun, Rodgers. It's caught outright by Graham. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. And very little room to maneuver. He'll get this down to about the 39. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting 3rd and about 4 to go. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. It's Packer football here as they've got the lead as well to begin the 4th quarter. The Packers on third down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 4.
Inside.
Rodgers from the gun, he'll throw. Quick throw, that's complete on the inside slant. And he will be knocked down hard, but he will have the first down. 7 yards on the quick slant and a first down. Couple of first downs to kick off the drive. Here's 1st and 10 up at the 46. Rodgers to Montgomery on the draw. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow him down.
Eluding the pressure right. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. I think you'd have to say defensively, these guys are doing their job pretty well, right?
Yeah, we talked about them holding them under 20 points, right, on defense. And they've done that. They've held them. The problem is their own offense hasn't answered their challenge, which was to score more.
Yeah, exactly. I remember you saying magic number was right around 20, and the offense has been the issue. You're right. He's going to look deep down the field, and that's caught inside the 30. A big gain of 31 on third down. I don't want to make a story where there's not one, but he threw the 3 interceptions last week. Looked a little uncomfortable. He looks much more comfortable today.
Yeah, just 1 pick so far and his team leads. So now they can play complementary football, meaning If he takes care of the ball and his offense, if they're humming along, the defense doesn't have to be out there as long. He's taking care of his guys on the other side of the ball.
They're enjoying a fourth quarter advantage. They go back to the ground with Jones. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
He sets up the screen to Jones, and he'll lose yardage, brought down at the 32. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up third down. Third and 15 here after the first and second down plays went in the wrong direction.
Hey, 626.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. And this is going to be incomplete.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he let him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
And Crosby puts it through, and that will make this now a 19-point advantage. So yet another field goal to end the drive. That has been a very common theme. He's now hit 5 of them in this game.
Yeah, Brandon, as an offense, you hate that you've had to call on your kicker so often, but you have to love the fact that time and time again, he's come through.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
And this will complete right side to Funchess. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. He'll look to throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back. Complete. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
Well, that was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? Second and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. Back to throw. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. Another wayward pass. Things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. They'll set up a throw. Open man is Thielen. It's complete. They get 14 yards there and a first down. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
This quarterback now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. They'll look to throw here. And the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. Mike Daniels in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. So after the sack, they'll come up on a still manageable 2nd and 13.
Gone!
He'll drop to throw. And that is incomplete.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
The Vikings on 3rd down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is going to be 3rd and 13.
Now, Barney!
Now back to throw. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. Needed 13, they got 14 on third down. They'll look to throw here on first down. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Kevin King with a pick. And he'll be stopped shy of the 15 at the 14-yard line on the return. That is now seven interceptions between last week and this week. 3 in this game, 4 a week ago.
And I saw the head coach write on his play sheet, make a little note. I hope he's writing self-scout. Bring in the guys that scout games for you with a different eye and watch him and see what's going on, and maybe they can pick up what the flaws are, and hopefully they can correct them.
And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. Throw left side complete. It's Sanders. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. That one goes for 24 yards. This is something you got to be wary of defensively. I mean, just because they're in the mode of trying to burn some clock doesn't mean they won't pass it, and they got good yardage out of that one.
Yeah, and really, when you're looking at it, now they've got a fresh set of downs. Look for 2nd down. If they want to take another shot and try and loosen things up, that'd be the time to do it.
Tackle made by Eric Kendricks.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. Again, it's Jones. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. The Packers on third down. They're right at about the league average, 40%, 4 for 10. This is 3rd and 7. From the gun, it's Rodgers. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here's J.K. Scott now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. This is taken at about the 14. No return, but it goes down as just a punt of 31 yards. And the Vikings will be backed up deep to begin their drive as they take over 1st and 10. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in a game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Vince Beagle in there with pressure yet again, and that's the 7th time they've dropped him here this afternoon. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Buying time to his left. Pretty nice gain on the scramble. Gets him 12 yards. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry.
Partner, as a quarterback, sometimes you just got to know when the clock has gone off in your head, it's time to go. Tuck it and get all you can.
Flush to his right. He can run for it, and he will. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as he'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. They'll look to throw now on first down. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Josh Jackson. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used the calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for the Packers, they just keep on rolling as they move to 9-2 with a win here. And they'll head back home next week to take on the Arizona Cardinals. Meanwhile, for Minnesota, it's a loss that sets them back in their playoff push as they fall to 6-5. And they will try to turn it around next week as they head down to Carson for a matchup with the LA Chargers. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.